Daniel was not only the director, he was the writer and producer behind this film. Has a lot of tasks for this. I'm curious out of the gate, what was your passion that you felt drawn to writing this story?
Just the writing process was something that I just started doing. It wasn't necessarily something that I was trying to do, but I figured that I would just try the process out and see if I enjoyed it, and I did. And then made this thing. This is probably like my 5th thing that I wrote, and it was the first thing that I decided to do.
It's such a pretty movie. Like, the thing I feel after watching it is it truly is just eye candy. It's something that jumps out to me too, is just the art installations. What do you feel like you're most proud of as far as, like, I mean, there's some very, very serious pieces of art that got accomplished with the mural. What were some of the things you're most proud of with the art that y'all got accomplished in the film?
I feel like they're all equally as challenging in different reasons. The suicide painting was very hard to pull off because we only had so much time to do it, and it was actually our 2nd day of shooting. So that was like our first scene.
Yeah, it was
like, okay, well, we're gonna find out if this is gonna work or not. So that was challenging in that way, and then just the amount of volume of the pictures. Like, I think there was like 16 images, and you can't really, it's hard to tell on screen, but some of those images are like 3, 4, 5 feet long, like they're really big. And then the mural at the end is 25 foot by 25 foot, and it's still standing in St. Louis today. And that went up in August of 21, so it's still there. So 3 big portions of art that were made for the film, but they were all equally as challenging in different ways.
I was curious too with your the runtime stood out to me too. It runs about 40 minutes. What was your reason for choosing that runtime on this film?
Well, it was never intended. It just kind of ended up being that way. And I got advice that we should probably trim it down and that sort of thing, but it just felt like this is what it felt best to me at this 40 runtime. And so it's awkward. It's like not a short or it's not a feature, but I'll just kind of like fuck it. Just go like punk rock with it and just be like, it's 40 minutes, I don't fucking care, whatever. We're fucking posted, who cares? So we just kind of like went punk rock with it and just left it at 40 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. Something really cool about this film, so Mia, who played Akila, this was your debut role acting, first time on screen. Mia is also a professional photographer, and that worked out perfect for this role. Daniel, how was it directing Mia?
Yeah, how was it directing me?
I mean, it was interesting because it's my first film, so we were kind of learning together at the same time. And it was such a financial risk for me that it just couldn't fail. And so she actually picked up and left her life in LA and lived in St. Louis for like a little over 2 weeks to make this film happen.
It was
so
more like 3.5
props to her.
weeks.
Okay, so it's 3 weeks,
No
yeah.
offense, but...
It's 3.5 weeks, yeah. So yeah, it was great because it was like a learning process for us both.
Something that was crazy to me is Daniel told me he went through over 25,000 people trying to find the 4 actors that were in this film. Mia, how does it feel to be one of the 4 that Daniel chose?
I mean, it feels great, but also, I kind of schooled him on the photography stuff for the film. Like, it feels great though.
Do you feel like you were able to contribute a lot as far as the photography went?
For sure, that was like the funnest thing for me, was like actually coming in and like being like, no, this is like how it should look, and this is what you would do, and this is the order of things in this particular scene.
Literally the first camera, and when he pulls a gun out on her, like I had no idea how that camera worked. And she showed me and my DP like how that happened. And so like literally the whole pacing of that scene is based around the changing and the swapping of like the film. So like
it is very rhythmic, like doing like that kind of film photography. It's like, it's a really old practice, and like it does have a rhythm, and it has like a beat, and I felt like it would work really well for that scene, and we worked it out.
What do you feel like attracted you to Akila herself? Like what was attractive to that character?
I mean, it was very meta for me. Like it was like someone's inviting me to like play out a potential like parallel timeline of like what could potentially be my life. And there's so many like parallels between things that Akila was going through in very literal terms, but like that I've felt in like metaphorical ways, and you know, where it's like some guy is like handing you a wine glass, you know, when you're like trying to shake his hand, like, you know, it's just, we all have to deal with stuff as artists and as people who work with other people, and I don't know, I just kind of felt her in a way, in a very deep sense, on like a million different levels. Yeah.
What do you think were some of the most challenging parts of production, parts of acting?
I had a great time. I guess like, you know, it was a baptism of fire, because it was like the second day of filming I had to have like a mental breakdown like multiple days. And that was not just the second day of filming, but it was my second day of filming ever. And so it was like, all right, like we're doing this, you know? And I guess you could say that was challenging, but it was also like kind of a relief and just really fun. And I don't know, Daniel made it so easy. I can't complain.
Heck yeah. Hey Garland, how's it going down there? We're at opposite ends. I was your character Abel was like truly that set the whole journey for Akila. Daniel told me too. How's it feel knowing that you were one of the only people that read for Abel?
The only.
I did not know.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the only one that read.
Okay, I guess it feels good.
How does it feel to you seeing like there was 9 months of just time that was put into like preparing all the shoot days? How's it feel seeing it now play out, all the detail that went into it?
Oh, wonderful. It's just a beautiful film. Reading for it, it was interesting because, you know, you have this character that comes in the beginning and he kind of like buttons it at the end in a way, to wrap up the relationship. And most people would say, okay, he's just this her manager. But and I was talking to Dan about it. He seemed a little deeper to me because the way we're in Hollywood, you know, and these people are like the devil, you know, in dealing with management and certain people that handle your life in their hands. They have this, I wouldn't say mischievous, but there's this relationship where there's a little mistrust in a way, but there's trust. And he feels like this devious character, almost like a devil that makes deals. So it gave me a different through line versus this simple, okay, he's just this guy who's just representing her, to he has this whole ulterior motive, this whole different through line. So even though I saw the months that went through to complete this film, I also saw the arc of this character too, that took the exact same amount of time for me to figure out, to live and to make, versus something on a piece of paper, you know. So it's beautiful to see up here. You know?
What drew you to this project, wanting to do it?
Well, the opportunity for the character. It's easy to see something on paper and go, okay, this is what it reads. This is what it reads like. But he gave me the freedom to create this life, even though it's a lot of people would say it's a small portion. For me, it was a full living character that actually had a purpose, not just within the story here, but in a broader scale of the world in general, like of a brush of violence. So the opportunity to create this and to live this and to make it bigger than what at first glance it would say, okay, he comes in and comes out. I'm like, man, there's so much you can do with this. So the opportunity to do that, to stretch myself was great. So that's why I was drawn to it.
Hey Yavor, do you like Daniel?
I love it.
How was it working with this crew?
Well, I can tell you, for someone who said that was his first film, I was nothing less than impressed. It was awesome. It was such a pleasure to work in this company and to be able to be given the opportunity say those things and shout out loud some of those things that are so it was awesome.
You're such a passionate actor. And what helped you get into character for the role of Vio?
What helped me?
Yeah, like how.
Well, this is kind of the kind of role where a lot of actors would love to be given the opportunity to play. This is a complex guy, and I'm so happy that Daniel decided to go with me. What helped me? Well, Daniel helped me. What I read in the script helped me a lot, and we spent a lot of time talking about it, and that helped me a lot to get in the right mindset, I guess.
What drew you to that character for you personally?
Everything. It's a great screen. How can I say? It's an amazing character to be portrayed. So everything about it, the mystery about it, the violence within him, and can't really say actually. I don't think I can put it in words. It's just what would what would you say if you were asked that?
I would say the incredible depth of the character. In your experience, it met at the perfect point to execute a believable and caring and tragic man.
There we go.
There it is. Whammy.
Garland, you have the best voice. I wish you would read me bedtime stories. It's incredible.
Seriously.
Well, my son will not let me stop.
Oh.
Yes. He goes, one more. I'm like, okay, so there was a teddy bear. Jumped.
Daniel, what were some of the obstacles you were like most proud of for yourself on this film that you feel like you were able to overcome?
I wouldn't recommend writing anything with museums or mansions.
Why is that?
It was just incredibly difficult to get those locations.
Yeah.
So that would be something that would definitely be for me for that.
Did you find difficulties with? I mean, you did a lot. You wrote it, produced it, directed it. Did you find a lot of difficulties with both producing and directing?
Yeah. It was incredibly difficult doing both those things at the same time because producing is very technical and logistics, and then directing is more like creative. And so flipping back and forth over a period of 2 weeks was incredibly stressful and draining.
You did an astonishing work at producing this. Yeah, we're all witness.
Apparently it was so hard. I keep thinking it was only 2 weeks, but it's I'm trying to
No, it was a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
And then we had to come back for a long weekend.
Oh yeah, and then we had to pick up in
pickups,
November too. Yeah.
So I had to go to St. Louis twice.
Yeah, that's true. And you froze.
Oh
in
yeah,
November.
no, literally, actually, in the cold, it was cold, and also very hot.
Yeah, it was the hottest day of the year.
And then
she's
the
pulling up to the
coldest day of
house.
the year. Yeah.
Leather, black, no air conditioning.
Yeah.
Hottest day in October.
Also,
and then you came back
nicotine
in
poisoning.
Nicotine
at least
poisoning.
Once, if not
Yeah.
twice.
We used
Yeah.
real cigarettes and.
Yeah, we did.
It's real, you know.
Cool. That concludes it. For this Q&A.
We'll end on nicotine poisoning.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say thank you all for coming out. This is super special. It means a lot. There are 7 states here that flew in, and I just wanted to say how awesome and appreciative that is for me. And if you worked on the film, please stand up real quick. All the cast, production, post-production, marketing. Yeah. So yeah, I think there's a lot of, like, this entire space is full of creatives. I think we all know how difficult it is to make your own thing and do these kind of things. So it just means a lot that you guys came out and celebrated this completion of this project with us. And thank you to you three. Thank you all so much for coming out.